Hello. Hello, this is Chaz from Electric Outworks. Today, I'd like to talk about inspiration. And where exactly does it come from? Is inspiration solely the result of external influence? Or is there, in fact, something more? So that, my friends, is what I would like to explore with you today. What is inspiration? And where does it come from? Is it a result of only external influences? Or perhaps something more? Something from within yourself. Please stick around and explore this with me. We are living through some trying times. There's a global pandemic and in many places mandatory shutdowns. So how are you staying inspired? How are you staying inspired to continue creating or to assist your artist clients in continuing to create? What is inspiration? Our friends at Merriam-Webster have defined inspiration in several ways. A divine influence or action on a person believed to qualify him or her to receive and communicate sacred revelation. The action or power of moving the intellect or emotions. And the act of influencing or suggesting opinions. All these definitions are applicable and certainly worth looking at. So what inspires me? Well, anyone acquainted with my wife and I would probably not be surprised to hear that a major source of my inspiration is in fact my wife, Julie. My wife? Well, yes, in fact. She's a badass. She built this bridge. And one of the neighbors almost drove off the road here because when they were pulling up, guess where they found Julie? Well, she was on a 30-foot ladder with a sawzall, working on the house. Oh yeah, she built this retaining wall. Is that working?
I don't know. Better work though. I think it did.
Well, the dent's gone.
Well, kinda.
Oh yeah, she built this retaining wall too. So Julie comes from an Air Force family. She was born in Lakenheath, England. Her father was a full colonel in the U.S. Air Force. And she grew up in the Philippines and Italy in the foothills of the Alps. And didn't come to the States till like 8th grade, 9th grade. She was like 12, 13. So her dad was a bit of a big shot. He was a full colonel and was in charge of air bases, U.S. air bases overseas. Her grandfather, Captain Joseph Banas, who retired as a major, was a badass too. During World War II, he flew B-17s, and then when the B-29 came out, he was invited to be a B-29 pilot. They weren't just handing the keys to B-29s out to anyone. You had to be a good pilot, and you were invited to apply. So her grandfather and his crew were on a way back from a bomb run, and they were attacked. Their plane was shot, it was going down. He saw the white caps down on the ocean and knew that he couldn't ditch. So he held it together long enough for his crew to get out, and then he got out. And they sat in the ocean for 8 hours, 12 hours, shark-infested waters, and waiting for the Navy to come pick them up. Continuing his tradition of badassery after World War II and getting shot down, he decided to sign back up for the Korean conflict, and guess what? He flew planes again. Julie also has a black belt in one of the martial arts, not sure which one. And when she was in college, she worked for General Dynamics, where she helped build nuclear submarines for the U.S. Navy, welding and stuff. After getting out of her first marriage, she was a single mom, had 5 kids, busted her butt without child support to keep a roof over the kids' heads, keep them in good schools, and give them the best life she possibly could. She also had the guts to marry me. Which reminds me, she made me this badass ring. And a matching watch. She custom designed that ring. So if you didn't notice, the pattern of sapphires and diamonds in there is an abstract of the door of the TARDIS. Because she knew that, I'm sort of a Doctor Who fan. In her spare time, she can be found operating heavy machinery. Tractors, Husqvarna chainsaws, all kinds of toys. Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. She's a keeper. I'm also inspired by my old friend Ivan Gonzalez. He's been on a ventilator for 2.5 weeks fighting coronavirus, and today, Easter Sunday 2020, we all just got word from his wife that it looks like he's making a full recovery and they're gradually weaning him off the respirator. This is Ivan here. He's pretty badass too. This is Ivan here with his kids looking pretty badass. You'd be understandably hesitant to wander into his yard, but they're actually the sweetest folks in the world. Ivan is a very well-liked school teacher. He loves punk rock. He loves the Descendants, the Clash, Husker Du. And his strength to fight and desire to do the right thing for those around him, for me, is an inspiration. Ivan's inspired hundreds, maybe thousands of people. Students, friends. He's been a good friend to the studio, too. He's helped us with some recording sessions. Actually, he was here and helped us for a live session we did for an NPR Tiny Desk concert. And he brought us his artwork that he made as a gift. He doesn't know it yet, but when he's recuperated, back on his feet and playing music again, studio time's on us. And I find everyday inspiration with people who work hard, bust their butts, do the right thing when no one's looking, and generally are trying to help others. So if these people and the folks that you come across in your life all have the energy to get up, do the right thing, work hard, then why can't I? If they can do it, I should do it. Hopefully we all have people like this in our lives. So hopefully these external influences are easy to pick out. They're right there in your life, in your face. So what else is there that's not so obvious? Well, Stevie Wonder once famously said, "Leave room for God in the recording studio." And by that, I think he meant leave room in your mind and in your heart for external influence to come in and help guide you. And that's a big part of it right there. You need to be open-minded enough, receptive enough to see the influences that are right there in front of you. So sometimes the answer is right there if you're open to it and looking hard enough. So you need to leave time in your life to stop and smell the roses, or in our case, Bambi poop. So what inspires you? Who inspires you? Maybe we can all find inspiration from each other. Feel free to leave a comment down there. These are difficult times for all of us, and anything that we can do to support each other remotely in our own way is a good thing. So being open and receptive to inspiration can take work. You might not be in the mood. You may just want to curl up in a ball. Sometimes you need to push yourself for the creativity. That spark and inspiration may very well not be in your comfort zone. David Bowie was once asked this in an interview. If I recall correctly, he said something to the effect that inspiration and creativity come from pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. He likened it to wandering out into the water on the beach, and you get to the point just when your feet can't touch the bottom anymore. You don't want to overwhelm and drown yourself, but you do want to push yourself into slightly deeper water. I think I'm a little dizzy now. So what inspires you? Let us know. Join the conversation. Leave a comment down there. That's all I got for now. So, as always, this is Chaz from Electric Outworks. Peace, love, and Ringo. Be good to each other. I'm out. Bye.